Hey, Beady Besties! Happy Monday, my friends. Happy Monday. I hope today has treated you all wonderfully. It was a lovely day here today. It was very quiet, very warm, getting a little crispy, my friends. But that's okay because all of my activities today were indoors, so no problems there. So how are you guys doing? How is everybody? What's on your beading mat, my friends? I want to know. So today, guys, we are going to continue our challenge. Oh, and look at my Rockstar Cowgirl nails. So cute. I love them. Um, today, today we're going to be continuing our challenge, my friends, from yesterday. So you guys, I'll put a couple little things in a cup, some papers, and we pulled out a certain bead box or bead bag, whatever. Yesterday we did Danielle's Gemstone Orphanage collection. Today will be totally something different. Did I bring the cup over? I did. I was so smart to do that. Excuse me one second. Danny, lay down, Miss Happy Feet. Okay? Danny and Mike are over here socializing, and it's annoying. Okay, but first, friends, let's bring in a card here. And guys, I do apologize for some background noises. I have 5 cats and a dog, and they're all very active at this time of night. And I live in a very small house, so you can hear toilets flushing and all kinds of things, guys. I do apologize for that. I don't like to film with my door closed because I have claustrophobia, and when I do that, it kind of makes me feel a little nervous. So, just little. That's just a little facts about call. Okay, so let's get into a card here, my friends. I notice sometimes if I do watch my videos, but I usually have headphones on, but I'm like, oh my gosh, was that Wayne getting up and flushing the toilet? Good gracious, call. And hopefully in our next home will be a little bit bigger and the sound will be dispersed. Anyway, half the failures in life arise from pulling one's horse as he is leaping. That's pretty wise information, guys. I think that is yeah. Yep. Wait till your horse leaps before you pull the reins there, Jonathan. Okay, friends. So this is what we're going to do today. We are going to pull ourselves a card here. And guys, if you enjoy this, and I'm sorry, I have to catch up on comments. I'm a little behind on comments, so I have not seen any of your comments from yesterday's video. I'm working on it, friends. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind. So if you guys like this sort of thing, we can maybe continue this into July, because I have lots of things, of projects that I can just throw into the bucket and we can pick. So if this is your jam, let a girl know. Let a girl know. All right, guys, we're going to pick. There, and we're being besieged again, and I have to get some off or something, some Skin So Soft. If y'all be selling Avon, let your friend know, because that's what my grandmother swore by, the Skin So Soft. They're like dive bombing me already. It's the lights, my friends, and I sprayed in my room today, but there's little flies. Okay, you shook enough, Kyle. All right, we have picked ourselves a winner chicken dinner. Let's see what beads we'll be playing with today. Ooh, friends. Sam's bead box, Sweet Peach. Yay! I was hoping it might have been this one, because I might have maybe some ideas. I'm not sure. But I am going to go over this way, and I'm going to pause you while I do that, and I'm going to bring over Sam's bead box, and then we're going to get into all the festivities. Give me 1 second, friends. Okay, friends, and here we are. I have assembled our Sam's bead box, the Sweet Peach. And I remember when I did my unboxing, I had immediately thought that I was going to do a bracelet with this and also with these. So I'm going to put these to the side. I'm not 100% sold, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use them all together. And what else? Because I do have an idea with this quartz butterfly. But I want to think about this, because I want to do a double-stranded necklace with this, but I want to use some other stuff that I got from Sam's Bead Shop, but was not necessarily in the box. So okay, so I think we're going to do that. Okay, so let's find some tones. So this is what I'm thinking, friends. Let's put our little beady heads together. And I think it's going to be a very asymmetrical. I'm feeling asymmetrical today. Am I feeling 2 strands, though, is the question. Because we certainly have enough beads to where we could do that. So what if we, was that my lights that just flickered? Guys, when I woke up this morning, my all my oven and stuff was blinking. We had lost power about 6 o'clock this morning. I slept right through it. But now I don't know what is going on. I don't know if they're power surges because everybody's and their grandma Ethel's got their air conditioners on. Listen, I'm guilty too. But so I don't know what's going on. Anywho's, back to this. So I really want to use this, and I think I want to use these as well. So I might not be wanting to use these. So I might save those for something else. I'm really liking how these will look together. And so what I'm thinking is doing one strand here. And I think these holes will be big enough. We can probably use... We can probably use some of the finer soft flex. I do have that. Or we can see if we can get 2 strands. But what I was thinking was, or we can start it off with 2 strands and then end it. I think that's what we'll do. So let me think about this one. All right, so what other beads do we think we're going to bring into the party? So let's first do that. I might use some of these as a charm and or something, since we do have some floral components in here. I also might be using some spacers. I'm not sure about those. I don't think I'm going to be using the drops. I might be using these because this color's amazing. So do we want to do both of these? And then I also wanted to use this. Okay, so I think I have an idea. I don't think I'm going to be using any of those. Or those. I might use some of the babies. These I'm going to put back in your bag. Boop, boop. Okay. I really love these too. I might use these. Not sure, guys. I think I'm bringing way too many beads into the party. Okay. And I think I'm going to use these butterflies when I do the, I think I'm going to put those with the quartz pendant. I think that'll be really pretty. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is what I'm thinking. So this will be we'll take it down to 1 strand. It'll be this strand, and we'll probably put some of these gold spacers here, right? We'll just stack some of these in here. Oh, fly, go. My goodness, they're like little fruit flies. My friends, they're gnats. My goodness. Okay, so maybe we put 2 in between each one, 2 in between, and then 2. It's not much color, but that's okay, because then what I was thinking is we could then have our 2 strands here, and we can use these on both strands, and then maybe put like 1 strand, it'll be these with a couple of these, and then the other strand will be these with a couple of these. I think that will be, I hope that made sense. I don't know. I'm a little manic today, my friends. If you can tell, I don't even have music on today because it's just one of those days where the music is just really loud, right? Everything is loud today. So some days I have days where everything is just loud and I need to just, and then I have days where the music's not loud enough. Nothing is loud enough. So, but today is one of those other days. So I figured I will come out here with my besties and we would bead together and we'll come up with something beautiful. I don't know if I'm going to have room for those. All right. I had kind of wanted to use these, but now I don't know. Maybe we'll do a dangle with those. Okay. Well, some ideas here, friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather some materials and then we will start this project and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, and we are back. And so I've laid everything out. I also revisited these flowers because I'm having some little ideas here. So I thought to myself, instead of using, I don't know, I thought maybe we could do a button, right? So I was looking in my stash for a button. I was like, but why look in my stash? Oh my gosh, I just realized my one light went off. Hold on, guys. It's been giving me some issues lately. It just kind of goes off one at once. So I said, why look in my stash when I have these are all perfectly good beads to make buttons with. So we can have a long button with that bead, we can have this coin button, or we can have this button. And I had originally thought maybe this button, but it's just, I don't think it's big enough. I need a little bit bigger button. I do not want to use this as a button. I want this to be our focal. So I think we're going to use that one as a button. So I just wanted to show you that you could use that as a button as well. And you could also use this as a button. And that would look super cute too. I was really thinking about that. I don't know. But then I think I'm just going to do one of these coins. Maybe that would look better. Let's try that, friends. It'll kind of look like, you know, you've ever seen those like long wooden toggle buttons? I think that would kind of look similar to that. I like that. All right, and then we're just going to use one of these coins. So let's check out our spacing here and see what we're dealing with space-wise. So then that'll be about here. And then we're going to put some little stuff in here, right? We'll probably put spacers on either end of everything in between. And then maybe we'll slip in one of these little guys in there. Bring a little bit pop of that peachy color. Okay. And then maybe we'll drop, maybe we'll drop one of these on there. Okay. You think that's, maybe that's too little? I wonder if we should use these. You know what? I might use these too, friends. We're going to do some fun stuff with those, I think. All right. So maybe we'll just drop some peach moonstone in here, the little guys. And that'll be good. Okay. So we'll figure about there. And then, so this will be one strand, and then it will be two strands. Right? Or do we start it with the two strands? I think that's a better idea, actually. Okay, guys. Well, we can still do that pattern, but we're going, this will be the end. So this will be the end of our bracelet, and this will be at the beginning of our bracelet. So we'll figure about here. And then this will be the end of our bracelet. And then we'll have a little loop here for our button. Okay, so then we'll do a spacer. We'll do one of these little baby peach moonstones, another spacer, or should we do a bigger bead in there? Maybe a purple bead. Maybe we do a purple bead in here. It'll just pop a little bit more. I think that purple bead will. Okay. And then another purple bead. Okay. And then, how big are the holes on these guys? Well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I know. And then we'll do one of these flowers. Do you think that's too small? I don't know. I think it's pretty. It is a little small, I feel like. Do we just want to do this other flower then? Do like that? Okay, guys, you talked me into it. You've convinced me. That's what we're going to do. We could then put this guy in the middle, huh? We could do that. Start out with this guy. Put this guy in the middle. And then that's what we have. That's also cute. That's also cute. All right. Let's do that. Oh, okay. I'm beginning to enjoy that more. All right, and then we have to put a bead here, so I guess, that just seems so small there. I don't know. What other bigger beads do we have in here, Carl? We have those drops. Every day I'm rustling. Or, my friends, or we could just do let's just do one of these peach moonstones. I think that's a good idea. I think that will look pretty there. What do you think? And then we'll start our two strands here. Or does that make more sense? Yeah, I think that makes more sense, Carl. Okay. All right. All right, and then we will do multiple strands here. Now, guys, I also brought in some of, you guys know I love to use these crimp beads. These are, if I can get the bag open, these are a size 2, I believe. These are a crimp bead, and I brought in this a little bit of warmer gold, kind of toned down gold, not a very bright gold, just a nice, pretty warm gold. Thought we could use that. You could also use 15-0, 11-0 might also work here. And we're also going to be using these because these are just dainty little melons. Let's use some of these dainty little melons up too. And we're going to make 2 strands here. Okay. At the top here, though, we're gonna do a couple of those. We'll just remember to do that. I don't have to lay them out. But we'll lay them out here. We'll do 4, right? So we'll do 2 and 2. And then we can start our strand. Let's see. Or should we do 3? That might really separate it a little bit more. Okay, we'll do 3. We'll see how it looks. And then I'll start this strand with some purple. All right, we can do some purple here. And then maybe a spacer. We don't have to do a spacer in between each one. We can do little groups, right? We can do little groupings. And then maybe over here, we'll do the melons. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same length. We kind of want it to start, you know, going in different sizes. So maybe we'll do 2 more melons. Make this side a little bit longer. Or maybe do that. Let's do 4 melons here. They're so little. Okay, that's looking good. And then we can start our gemstones. Make sure there's no other beads I want to bring in. Okay. Okay, so let's do some peach moonstone in here. So let's do maybe 3 peach moonstone. We'll do a little pattern. 3 of the purple, 3 of the peach moonstone, and then we'll bring in maybe 1 of these cylinders. See how it's kind of like, or do you think that's just too chunky? I think that might be too chunky. Maybe we'll bring in a flower. What do you think about a flower? And then over here, we can maybe stack some of these guys up. They will look so cute just stacked up here. So we'll stack up a couple of those. And guys, it'll be a little bit, we're just playing here with some placement. I don't know if the holes are big enough for that, but we're going to do that. You know, we're just playing with placement here. And then maybe we'll put some green ones on this side. Right? We'll play with about 4 of those. And then, okay, so maybe over here after this, we'll do some purple. Right? Do some purple, make it funky. We'll do 3 purple because they're a little bit bigger. No, my spacing's just not, we're using our fingers as rulers right now, guys. So this is just real rudimentary, my friends. This is, some of you guys wanted to see some design processes. Welcome to the mind of the madness. The mind behind the madness, my friends. Here she is. And then maybe we do a flower on this side. That's pretty. Okay. I don't know if I want to bring those in. Let's do some of this moonstone over here. Let's do a couple of moonstones over here. And then over here we'll do some of these stacked up spacers. Do a couple of those. Okay. Moving on down to the east side. I better stop singing. I'm going to get in trouble. Y'all know the rest of it. It's in your head now. You can't stop it. Okay. So do we do some more purple down here at the bottom? I do love this purple silk. So pretty. I know this might look a little chaotic at the moment. Okay. We are going to allow for some extra ones here at the top. Right? To separate our strands. So now what do we want to do here? So how about we do a couple little green ones, right? They'll fit. Couple little green ones here at the end. We'll see if that all fits. We'll see, friends. Might be dicey. I'm looking like I'm not sure, but everything is kind of, it's not exactly, you know, straight. So we'll see. How's that looking, Call? Just got 1, 2. Okay, so maybe we'll just do 2 more little ones, like so. All right, let's start it now. Here's our other problem, friends. What color soft flex to use? So we've got the fluorite, we've got the turquoise, and then we've also got the bone. And I think the purple would also look nice. But you might see some of it. Oh, you are definitely, you know what? Actually, because we're going to do a loop at the end. So you're definitely going to see the color. The question is, what color are we going to see? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the turquoise. Let's roll with the turquoise. All right, friends. So I'm going to rub myself, because this is a very, it brightens up the palette, I think. I also, what do we think, guys? What do we think about that? Is it too bright, or do we want to use this color that picks up the melons? All right. I thought I had made a decision, but now I'm not sure, because now I was looking at this and I was like, oh, that's really pretty too, isn't it? I don't know. Now I'm not sure. Shocker. All right, let's also try the bone, just because I did bring it out. Let's also bring bone in and see if we like that. We might be surprised, friends. We might be surprised. And I do actually, oh my gosh, I like the bone too. Are you serious right now? I wish this was live so I could take a poll. But let me know in the comments. You can stop the video. Let me know in the comments. What would be choice? What stringing wire would you go with here in this situation? Let's put the turquoise back out. A, B, or C? I'm going to be honest, friends. I'm going to be real honest and up straight with you. For sure. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go with the bone. That's my cat at the door. Now the dog's probably going to bark because she thinks it's somebody outside, and it's not. It's the cat behind the door trying to get a toy. It's an endless cycle, my friends. I really think I'm going to use the bone. I think the bone's really, I don't know, I just really like it. This is pretty too, though. Like, they're both really, man, I've never had this problem before. I lie. I've had this problem plenty of times. You know what? This is what we're going to do, my friends. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to put them both, and we're going to just, we're going to pick one. You're going to put one in each hand. No, we're not, Carl. Just use this one. Okay, I'm just going to use this color. This is the color we're using, the fluorite. I've made my decision. All right, friends, that was painful. Here we go. Let's, can I help you? Danny, go lay down. Let's cut. So we are going to want to double it up a little bit. We don't need to double it up all the way. So I'm feeling like let's cut about, so I'm going to cut about 15 inches maybe here. So that's 12. So that would be 15, and then we'll do that much. Okay, that's how much we're cutting. Because I'm always afraid not to cut enough, my friends. I'm always afraid that I'm not going to cut enough. And it's nice to have a little extra for leverage and all those things. I probably don't need that much, but that's what we got. And it's okay, because you know what? Maybe we'll have the rest for some earrings or something. You guys know I like to recycle. I'm very thrifty that way. I'm very multi-purposeful. All right. So first, I believe that this is even long enough if I wanted to double it up. So anyway, I want to start with our buttoned. So let's first get us a crimp tube. And these are the OG Soft Flex crimp tubes. So these are the 2x2s. And of course, we're going to go with the gold. with the gold. How many crimps are we doing, Carl? I think we're only going to do 2, friends. I think we're only going to do 2. Oh, no, we're doing 3. That's right. I forgot. I forgot the middle crimp. 3. 3 she is. Okay. All right. So we got to do a crimp up here at the top. So we're going to take our button bead. Put a crimp tube on first, probably. We're going to take our button bead and put that on through. And then we're going to come down here and put that through. This is how we do it. Yeah. Put that through this crimp tube. Okay. And we're going to have to do some shaping here. We're going to have to like make it all presentable. So let's bring about that much down, maybe a little bit more, guys. That's why I cut myself a little extra, so I didn't have to really concern myself with a whole mess ton of math. Okay, I don't need it quite that long, so this guy can go up a little bit more. Is that the long one or the short one? No, okay. So, yeah, okay. All right, so here we go. So now when I say by shaping, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our bead like this, making sure our wires are not crossed. And then we're just going to slowly inch that crimp up to the middle of the bead, right? We're just going to slowly inch that up to the middle of the bead. So we are nice and centered with that bead. And of course I just let go of my wires and they probably crossed. They probably crossed in there. Am I going to sweat about it? No, gosh, they didn't cross actually. Okay, I'm shocked. All right, so once we do that, I'm going to go ahead. And it doesn't have to be flush up against the bead, because what's going to happen is this is what your bead's going to do. I mean, you want it up there as much as you can, but your bead is going to want to fall to one side. And that's what we kind of want. We want that to kind of fall to one side. That's a goal here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to crimp that in place, right? Making sure that's centered. Once we crimp it, you know, it's hard to go back. So make sure you're all in there and jazzed about where you're at. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and spin it around like it's little rotisserie chicken. All right. And there we go. And I feel that's a satisfactory ball there. Feeling good about that ball. Okay. So there we have it. And we can let it can fall in either direction, whatever direction wants to fall in. So then that's what we have. So now we're going to separate our wires. Guys, I made 2 bracelets in 2 days in a row. I'm impressed with myself, I have to say. My wires crossed a little too much in there, so they're a little on top of each other, which I didn't want. But that's fine, friends. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load on my 3 crimp beads on this side. Maybe we just need 2. Let's see what 2 look like. And then 2 on this side. Bring those both down. And see how they're going to sit next to each other, kind of like the 15 O's in yesterday's project. They're just going to kind of allow those wires to come together without a lot of gapping. And I think 2 will be fine. I think that will be fine. And then we can start our pattern. And it doesn't, I don't think it really matters which side is which. So we'll just do our little pattern here that we have, and then we'll measure along the way just to make sure that we're leaving ourselves enough room so we don't have a gargantuan bracelet that will fit the giant of someplace far, far away. Oh, there she goes, dive bombed. All right. I'm gonna get some citronella candles tomorrow and light my office up like I'm having a seance. A citronella seance, my friends. I'm gonna do it. Oh, look how cute these look stacked up. These are adorable. Look at those. I love it. Love those for us. Oh, that is coming out really cute. I love all the different like kind of design and texture in there. That's lovely. The different sizes and colors. You guys, I'm telling you what, Sam's team really knows what they're doing over there with colors and sizes and shapes and all of the things. All of the things, my friends. I will leave all of Sam's information in the box for you guys to go over there and see what he's got going on, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come have fun in the gem chat. I encourage you guys to do all of the things. All right, so we're coming to our flower here. And I'm going to stop this side. And then I'm going to play catch up with the other side and see where we're at. I'm going to look around me and make sure I'm not having a tail underneath me. And then I'm going to get a bead stopper. You can't hear me, guys, because I'm in my spy chair. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get us out a little bead stopper. We got a smaller one here. Perfect, perfect. All right. Here we go. So let's just go ahead and put a little bead stopper here, right? Just so we're not breaking our hearts. And now let's start this side. So I think we're starting this side with some of these little minty melons. Minty melons, my friends, the minty melons. I'm so excited to see what Sam's doing next month for July. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. July is always a fun month, right? You know, summer's in full swing, you guys. You know, people are going on vacation. We're celebrating holidays. We're, you know, having family stuff. Hopefully, you know, some of us, not all of us, some of us celebrate things more quietly, but it's still fun, right? It's still fun to be festive. Oh no, I saved it, my friends. I picked up a hitchhiker, a cat whisker. But you know, I'm not really, listen, I don't mind some outdoor activities, guys. But I am somebody that does not really like to be in the heat. I'm not very comfortable. You know, I'm not exactly a small human being. So I exert lots of energies, walking, stuff like that. And we wanted to do our other flower down here, didn't we? I think I've gone awry with our pattern, but that's quite all right. That's cute. Look how cute that is. That's adorable. So yeah, so I don't necessarily enjoy, although guys, if it's just a little hot, you know, and it's not humid, it's the humidity, right? Come on, ladies, that's honestly, if it's a little hot, I can deal with being a little hot, right? I can deal with sweating a little bit. It's fine. But it's like when my hair and my glasses are just like suctioned to my face. I'm not down for that party. I'm not built that way. Okay. I'm more built for blizzardy conditions, if we're being honest. So just a little backstory on me. Not that you asked, but yeah. Yeah. Oh no, little friend. Can I escort you to the dance party? Thank you. Friends. If it's not one thing, I'll tell you what. It's going to be 7 other things. But what can you do? What can you do except just, you know, you put a smile on and you just hope it gets better. Because you know what, my friends? 10 out of 10 times, okay, maybe 9.5 out of 10 times, it does get better. It really does. You just have to believe, and you know, and I don't even know how we got into this conversation, but that's what happens when Carl's just beading at midnight, right? I'm like just beading away and chatting. It's kind of fun though. It's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna make sure I'm not picking up my crump tubes by accident. Okay. All right, so let's look and see what we have here. And I think that is super duper cute. Is that my cat throwing up? Because if it is, I'm gonna have to pause it. No, it's not. Okay. He's on top of one of my little things, making himself noisy. All right, so where are we at, Carl? If you knew how to use a ruler, that would be great. So friends, we are here at about 3 inches. Okay. So let's do, because we might take one of these flowers out. I'm not sure. I think we might take one of these flowers out, maybe. How do we feel about that? Like, that would be pretty too, wouldn't it? Or do you think that's just too random? Well, I guess we'll come to that decision when we come to it, my friends. But right now, let's do a little bit more on this side. So let's see where we're at. Here, what bead could we put next? Okay, I see. Let's do this one. Bobo, can you stop? All right, these are so pretty. This peach moonstone is amazing. But like I was saying, guys, about all the Sam stuff, also the live sales, guys, and I can't talk enough about the live sales. Even if you're like me, and guys, a lot of times, sometimes I'll have money and I'll be able to shop, and that's a really great thing. And then sometimes I don't, but I still like to go and hang out with our friends, right, guys? So many beautiful beady friends in the community are at the live sales. And guys, it's so much fun. Like Shira and Sam and Rachel and Jesse, they're just such an amazing just an amazing group of people, and it's always fun. It's educational. You laugh. I guarantee you one thing, guys. I guarantee you, if nothing else, you will laugh at least 3 times. At least 3 times. And I think that's totally worth it. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more purple on this side, just to kind of even this purple out a little. And then I think we're going to go ahead and crimp it. And then finish it out, guys. I don't know if we're gonna do earrings or not. I'm not 100% sure yet. We will see. We will see for sure. All right, so I'm liking that, and I think that's gonna be good. And then let's do, what can we do here? Let's do some more of these little babies. So then we're kind of ending and beginning with these, with a different kind of bead, right? So we have a little bit of different textures in here. Okay, but we gotta really even that up. So let's do one more. Okay, and then see where we're at. Looks like I still need to even that up a little bit, or take one of these purple ones out. Oh no, guys, look. That's pretty even. I think that's going to be good, because we want a little bit of room for it to be a little flexible. So I might put one extra, that's what we'll do. We'll put one extra seed bead on this, or crimped bead on this side, and that will really kind of, let me see. Yeah, that will really kind of even that up, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like that's nice. Okay. So about how long is that? Oh no, man down. So we're at not quite 4 inches. And then figure a loop. So we'll figure this at, do we want to, I just don't know if I love how that looks. We could do a drop. We could do, oh, I was thinking about doing little drops in here might be cute. Or do you think that's too much, friends? I was thinking that might be cute, too. We could do, like, a bunch of these spacers here. We could do, like, 2 spacers. And then a drop in between. That's a cute idea. I kind of like that. Right? Means we got to get some wire out, but that's fine. Okay, I like that. That's cute. Wait, how long did we say that was, Kyle? It's going to be like, let's say about 3 inches. We said that's about 4 inches. Plus we need a loop. Okay, I think that's going to be good. I'm liking that. Okay. I think that's going to be real pretty. All right, friends. So let me go ahead and put 2 more crimp beads on each of these. So just to kind of, or maybe just 1 on each side, just to kind of even this out. Right? And then we could slide another bead on here and then crimp it. And then bring it down to 1. We could do, I don't think the flowers will fit. Let me see how big the holes are here. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna fit on both. Maybe. They maybe fit. I don't, we'll see. Sometimes you'd be surprised. Oh, they might fit. They do. But is it like a, let me see. Is it like an awkward fit? Is it like, yeah, it's tight. I don't want to break a bead fit. That's what that was. That could have broke a bead fit. We don't want that, friends. We do not want that. We could just crimp there, but I just thought it would be cute to have like a bead in between where we crimp and these other beads. I thought that would be cute, but not necessary, of course. Just looking to see. I mean, these have a pretty big hole, but these might not match. These might not match. The hole is big, but they might not match. We'll see. The hole is definitely big enough. Let's see. See, so that's what that would look like. I feel like it just doesn't really fit, right? I don't know. Maybe the purple one will fit through both. Maybe a melon will. I don't know. Sometimes these little fire polish babies, but I don't want one there that small. Should we just crimp, friends? Should we just crimp? Oh, look, we got leaves too. Oh my goodness. I done forgot about the leaves, friends. Oh my goodness. Oh, I wonder, could we do... Let's see something. I wonder if we put... You think the leaves will fit on both wires? Maybe we can throw some of these in here. What do you think about that? All right, let's take off one of you. Let's take off one of you. Actually, let's take off this. Let's add some of these leaves on both strands and see what that looks like, because I think they will fit both strands. And that could give us some fun texture, my friends. Okay, that's a one strand, or we can put them one on each strand. That's a really good idea too, isn't it? Okay, well, let's see what they look like on, let's see what they look like. See if they fit nice. Might be a little tight. No, they fit really good. Okay. So, I gotta put another C bead on that, another crimp bead on that one. I think I like this idea, actually, of putting them, okay, this is just for fun, just for fun. We're gonna put them on, and I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do two on each side, and then we're gonna crimp. Then we'll see what that looks like. I think that's going to be fun. It might not be. It might not be fun, friends. It might not be. But I think it might. It might be fun. Or we could just do one, or we could do three on this side. Bless you. Oh, I know what we can put to make them together. Okay, bless you. That is enough, sir. All right, I know. I think I know what we can do here. Okay. See, I was thinking that maybe they would do that, which they will. That's cute. I like it. Maybe this daisy spacer will fit over both, my friends. I didn't think about that one. Right? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. My goodness, sir. Nope, won't. Too small. Is it time to take... Oh my God, that's a moth. That's a whole... Nope. That's a whole... I don't know what that is, friends. I have to pause for a second. Okay, friends, we're back. Sorry, that was something. Oh, sorry, that was something that flew, and it had red wings, and I wasn't sure what it was. I handled the situation. Okay, here we are, friends. Here we are. All right, so let's grab one of our crimp tubes. And I think we're gonna crimp here because if I keep going, then we're not gonna have room for the rest of the stuff I want to put on there. I'm just hoping that like his ancestors don't come for me, right? That's always my fear, friends. When I kill a bug, that its family is going to find out about it and they're going to come for me, and I'm not prepared. I will be honest with you. I am not prepared. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Mist? I believe it is a Stephen King. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is a Stephen King. But anyway, it's got that Thomas Jane in it. Ladies, okay? Listen, if you're having a bad day and you need a little pick-me-up, I highly suggest a Thomas Jane film. any really. Although I do have favorites. The Mist and The Punisher are two of my favorites. But anyway, that's a little personal plug. But that's what I feel like around here lately, guys. I feel like it's The Mist. It's so buggy. So if you guys don't know what it's about bugs, and bugs that just invade everywhere because there's this mist that comes in from, I don't want to give it away in case y'all want to see it, but I will tell you this, my friends. Don't come at me if the ending unsettles you, because it probably has one of the most unsettling endings ever in the world of unsettling endings. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just playing with this as I'm talking because now I'm starting to not like it. And I don't want to not like it. I don't know. I think I should put some more. I think the problem is I need to put just a couple more crimp beads to separate those, just to kind of give those a little bit more room at the crimp site. I think that's why I'm not enjoying it. But yeah, it has the ending is like, it's bad, my friends. The ending is not great. So I will let y'all be the decision because I can't tell you guys what to do. I can only tell you that be ready for it is what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, The Mist. I think there's another movie out, The Mist, but this is the one with Thomas Jane. Look for that one. Blow your mind one Saturday night. Good times, good times. All right, so I'm trying to keep these all straightened up and see if we like that now. We've separated this out with a couple more. Looks like I need, oh my goodness, you guys. It looks like I need at least one more on this side because that side is not completely even, I guess. I don't really know what's going on here at this point. I feel like a passenger at this point. I'm a passenger on this train. Okay. On this train of thought. I'm not sure what station it's at. All right. Well, let's see. Why was that better before? And now... Okay, there we go. Okay. Are we loving the leaves? I don't know if we're loving the leaves. But I think, oh, look, it'll look cute, I think, when it goes around the wrist. Do you think we need more leaves? I'm like, first I'm like, I don't know if I like it, but now I'm like, oh, do we need more? Well, I don't know, friends. I don't know. Let me try it on my wrist here and see where we're at. See what we're doing. Are we halfway, Call? We're about halfway. So, and I also wanted to do some dangles, didn't I? You know what, guys? I'm just going to go for broke, and I'm going to do 2 more leaves in here because I kind of like how that looks when we fan it up. I think that's going to look real cool. And then I promise we're going to crimp. Okay. So, 1 more leaf, 2 crimp beads. Or is this the one that had 3? I don't know. Let's figure it out together. We'll just put 2 for this time. And then 1 more of these. 2 crimp beads. Let's see. Let's see what we're doing. Okay. And then our crimp tube. Oh, fly. There's another one. I think that's a moth. I can't kill it. I guess I love moths. I just kind of let them chill out, guys. I do apologize. It is very buggy here. Like I said, I feel like it's the mist. I don't know what is going on in the world. I don't know who's responsible, but I don't appreciate it. I know I've expressed that multiple times, but I'm not happy with you. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and crimp now. And I am going to kind of keep this so it's not nice and flexible and not crunchy. And guys, it doesn't matter if the wires are next to each other here, because just don't crack one. Oh, well, so you know what? Since those are crimp beads and not glass, they're a little bit harder to crack. But still, you don't want to bite into one of them and make them all sharp. So still be careful, and it doesn't matter if the wires are on top of each other, because we're going to be cutting one off here. Right? Okay. And so this is still really nice and flexible. Oh, that's cute. And then when it's on the wrist, I imagine it just like kind of fans out. It'll just do its thing. Okay, blessy. Blessy. Okay, so that is the top of our necklace. That's really cute. I love that. And this is the bottom. Now I'm going to have to stop and get some wire, my friends. And we're going to make us some dangle doos, I think. So I've cut out the shorter piece. And I'll be right back with some wire. And we will go ahead and make some dangle doos. Okay. Okay, friends, we're back. And I've made some dangles for us, but we're going to make a dangle together. I don't know if we're going to use all three, but ideally I would like to use all three. So we've got the Pimp Daddy spool of 22 gauge wire out. And I'm going to cut myself enough to make a nice, neat, knotted head pin. We don't need a whole lot, maybe like 2.5 inches or so. This is probably about 3 inches, which is fine, my friends. I'm just warming it up with my fingers a little bit. Okay, and you guys know we love our knotted head pins here. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to take our pliers, and we are just going to take this wire in between our pliers, making sure that the wire is not sticking out. And then we're just going to start turning loops here, and then it will come out a second time. We're going to keep on turning that loop until we see it coming a third time, and then we're going to take this wire and we're just going to bend it up before that wire gets past there. Okay, take it off the tool. Kind of looks like this. This one's a little cockeyed, but that's okay. We'll fix it. So you want to take this end, put it through the loopy, and then you want to get some nylon jaw pliers here, and you're going to butt those up against there, and then you're going to take another pair of pliers, and you're just going to pull that loop until it goes flat. There we go. And that's a little bit flatter. And there we go. Then it kind of resembles this little knotted Rossetti type shape here. Okay. And so you're going to drop one of these minty coins on. I'm just going to go ahead. This got a little bent. Cut that. And then we're going to drop on one of these gold daisies. And then, so for these two, what I did was I did a peach moonstone on one, and the other one I did one of these green melons. So for this one, I will do one of these purple ones. So we're just bringing in all of this element except for the flowers. And they're all about the same size. This one's a little bit shorter, so they might dangle a little different. Just take that into consideration. Here we're going to bend that wire. We are going to create ourselves a wraps loop. I want to go about here on the plier because this is going to go over top of one of those crimp beads. So I want to make sure that it's big enough to go over the crimp bead, but not big enough that it will escape through here. Okay, so we're just going to come back here and we're just going to straighten up our loop. And we should get about 4 wraps in here. That's 1, 2, 3, about 4. About 4. There we go. Take that off the tool. Not quite 4, probably because this fire polish is just a little bit bigger than those other 2 beads, which is fine, because that may maybe help us make up the difference there. Okay, and now I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this end in gently. All the tuckage in. Okay, so there we go. We've got our loop and all of our fun stuff. All right, so let's finish this puppy off, guys. So let's see. How do we want to begin this? I guess with maybe, we'll do maybe oh yeah, we want to do this guy. That's right. So we'll do this guy. Do we want to do a drop here? No. So we'll do this. We'll put on one of these crimp beads. right? We'll drop on one of our drops, and I don't think it matters which one. And then we'll drop on another one of these. And then we'll drop this guy on. This might not be ultimately what I go with. We'll have to see spacing. I might want to bring this drop down here. I'm not really sure. Because then this drop will be close to the loop. I guess that will look pretty too. Well, we won't know unless we try, friends. So let's go ahead and do that. Put on our crimp bead. Or another crimp bead. Whatever crimp bead wants to go. Okay. And then we'll drop on our purple drop. Oops. Okay. And then another daisy spacer. And then we'll drop on our big Mamba Jamba coin. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Okay, friends. Okay. Spacer. Crimp bead. This guy. And then another one of these guys. All right. All right, so this is what we have. That's really cute. I think that's really cute. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. Okay. Do we want a drop here is the question, my friends. Well, I think first we have to see how long we are, right? Because we still have to make a loop for our button. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to have room for another drop. So let's go ahead and roll over here. Guys, I have to be careful because I actually rolled over Mike's tail earlier. And I didn't get the whole tail. I just got the tip. And yeah, and I found how I found out is because there was a little clump of tail fur, my friends. Tail fur tips. So let's go ahead and let's pretend. Where did my bead buddy go? The things that happen in this house. Okay, go. Get another one. That's, you got a whole bowl of them. This is true. All right, I'm going to put this about, how big do I think my loop's going to be? So we're going to crimp, and we're going to say our loop's probably going to be about this big, right? So I'm going to put it right here. So we'll say about there. And I'm going to put it on the cone and see where we're at. This is kind of my method of This is kind of my method of struggle measuring. So that'll be a little smaller than I thought. I guess we can put one more drop in here, friends. I guess we can do it. Which one are we going to use? Wheel. I don't know. Give me 1 second. Okay, lovey dubs, and here we are. So I put in a 4th drop in between, and I went with purple. So we got the purple, the moonstone, the minty, and the purple. So now we're gonna put on our crimp tube here, and we're gonna make a loop for our do I want to do a crimp bead here? Let me see something. Just trying to. No, I think I'm just gonna do a crimp. We're just gonna do a crimp tube here. That's fine. Okay, and we're gonna make a loop. Now I'm not gonna do any beads on this loop. You guys know, like yesterday, we did a beaded loop, but this one I think we're just gonna just make a loop, and let that beautiful wire speak for itself. Okay. So hopefully it will be big enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this wire and we're gonna go back through our crimp tube, and then also we're going to go through, oh, that's right, I don't think it will fit through that. That's fine, that's fine. We're not going to go through the next bead because it's a little too thick. Okay, and we're just going to pull all of this down. Oh, I got a little twisted here. There we go. We're just going to pull all of this down. Okay, and making sure this is not twisted. Okay, which it is. All right, so now we have to make a loop that will fit. And let's do a fake measure and see about where we're at here. Oh, we're at about 7 inches there, friends. We're at about 7 inches. That's not bad. That's a pretty good length. We are going to go ahead and lock that in, I believe, at 7 inches. So I'm not even going to take this button out. I'm just going to, well, maybe I will. Just going to move this down a little bit. So I know the size loop I need. Let me pull that down a little bit. And so this is why it's good that we already crimped down here, so then we don't have to worry about all that nonsense. We just want to make sure. Sometimes easier said than done. Let me pull that down a little bit. I'm going to hold this wire behind this coin bead here. And again, yeah, that will fit nicely. We are not going to struggle there with that. We shouldn't anyway. There we go. Okay, so I'm liking that. I'm just making sure that this is all nice and not too much gaps here, but we want to make sure it's still a little flexible. We want our dangles to have some flexibility in there. Let's see if our wires are twisted up. I don't want my loop to twist. I kind of want it to front face here. Okay. And I am going to make it just a tiny bit bigger because when we crimp, right, it's going to cause it to get smaller when we crimp. So I'm just going to open that up just a little bit. This is all feeling good. Okay, friends. Okay, that's gonna be good. I just like to double check, like, 17 million times because you never know. All right, guys, so we're going to come in here, being very careful of those daisy spacers. I'm actually going to pull my crimp bead up a little bit and then pull it back down. Just giving myself a little bit more room. Okay. I really don't want to break these little check spacers. Dude, sometimes if you bring your tube up, oh no, I just dinged my nail polish. Put your pliers on there and then slide it on back down. That will sometimes work. But then we lose our loop. Oh my gosh, Kyle, why are you struggling today? So bad, my friend, so bad. Because I feel like every time I go to do it, I feel like that's not going to be a big enough loop. Okay, that should be big enough. That should be plenty big enough. I also don't want it too big. Kyle, just crimp it. Just crimp it, Kyle. Make sure you're not crimping the daisy. Crimp it. All right, guys, I have crimped it. I've made a decision and I've crimped. And we're going to continue to crimp here. Trying to keep this front facing, this loop here. There we go. All right. That was a wild ride, my friends. That was so wild. Okay. We're going to go ahead and snip, snip. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. Look at that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's so pretty. I love it. I like how these, and they can also fan out too, I guess, maybe when you're wearing it. That looks really cool when it fans out. But even if they're just these little leaves that are stacked up, that is so cute. And I love these dangles. It's got so much movement. I'm going to try it on. I don't know if it'll fit, guys, because it's about 7 inches. And I'm maybe 7¼ today. I'm not sure, but we're going to go for it. Sorry, those were my bracelets shooting off like little fireworks. But I don't want to force it because I don't want to break it. Because I can probably sell it or gift it or something. It will fit. It's a little tight though, guys. It's a little tight, but it will fit. But if you had nice wrists at 7 inches or below, this is how that would look. So you'd have your little bit of dingle dangles in here. Dingle dangles. and then your 2 strands, and then you just go ahead, get your little button loop. It's fun, funky. I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. I enjoy it. I would love for us to make earrings to go with it, but I'm running out of juice, my friends. This designing on the fly is a little bit harder than, you know, than you realize sometimes. But I still do have one of each of these, so maybe we can combine them with something. Maybe we can do like an asymmetrical earring to go along with this in our next video, guys. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, so guys, go ahead and check out Sam and all of Sam's goodies. Oh, guys, you know what we can do? Because Jody's so fancy. I love in the beginning of Jody's videos, and she's got her projects and stuff on the. It's such a nice little. You get to see everything. Let's do that on the palette, guys. Let me go ahead and lay this out, and then we can pretend like there's music, and so we can get a really good look at our project. I think that's a good idea. I think it's super cute. All right, my friends, and that concludes today's challenge, day 2. Tomorrow will be challenge 3. And I wonder who we're going to pull from the magical cup of magic. And I'm going to work on better lines, friends. We're going to work on it. But until then, my loves, please, please, please keep planting your magical beans. Don't ever stop. And just keep being kind to yourselves, my friends. For sure, you are glowing, for sure. I mean, it might be the heat, might be the chicken grease, but I've got a feeling you're glowing because you're being kind to yourself. Keep doing it, my friends. Until next time, love you all. Bye.